It's 8:44, and well, by golly, we got things going on a Wednesday. Is today Wednesday? Yeah. The Shelter Scoop. We always get a chance to sit down and talk with Sybil from the Humane Society of North Iowa, and this is on our YouTube page. It'll later be on the website.
But we're coming live from the studio.
Yes.
Woo!
I tell you what, talking about last minute trying to get the video going.
Dang, I was impressed. That was like gadgety overload here. He's got about 20 little camera gadgets set up and cords, and he had to flip the pad and get it switched over and get the cord, and it was a whole thing. I sat here and supervised, and he did a great job.
Right. And of course, it was like Doc and Marty from the Back to the Future when they remember the thing where they had the clock tower and they had to get and then all of a sudden the thing breaks and he's short.
10 million gigawatts.
We had to get the video, the video.
The cord to the iPad.
Yeah.
That's the modern day version of the gigawatts to the clock tower. It's the cord to the iPad.
I'm like, it's too short.
We've gone back to the past. We've just aged ourselves by knowing lines from that movie.
Oh man, that was a great movie though.
It was a great movie.
So Sybil's in here and we're talking the Shelter Scoop at the Humane Society of North Iowa. So we got a big holiday going on this weekend?
Well, the Shelter Scoop, soon to be known as the Snow Scoop.
Right.
We're preparing for this winter storm and taking it real serious. And I wanted to say a couple of things. One is the weather that we're going to be projected to have here in the upcoming days, a couple days here, it is life-threatening to human and animals. If you have pets that are left out in the cold or live outside, please, for the love of God, bring them inside. If you can't bring them in your house, at least find your garage or an outbuilding or somewhere and provide them some bedding and a space to get away from the elements. If you care for stray, feral, wild cat colonies that, you're not going to catch a feral cat and put it on your sofa, I understand.
Right.
But allow them access then to your garage or an outbuilding or something to get them protection from the elements. There's a lot of ideas. A lot of people go out and they build these little wild feral cat insulated houses using like Rubbermaid totes, some insulation.
Sure.
Those are really common and easy. There's lots of instructions online, but make sure you're taking care of yourselves, but make sure you're taking care of your pets. Also, make sure you're looking out for other animals too. And this is of the if you see something, say something line. We've had our first case of a dog that was left out all day yesterday and is suffering from and brought into the shelter by animal control and suffering from some hypothermia effects and is going to live. But had she been left out overnight, maybe not. I mean, she'd been out all day long and, kind of stressful for her and painful for her. In the kind of weather that we're going to have with this negative 20 to 40 degree below zero wind chills, an animal, it can suffer frostbite in a matter of minutes and death in a short period of time as well. So if you see an animal in your neighborhood that you think is in danger, do not hesitate to call your local police department or in Mason City Animal Control, which is through dispatch, which is 421-3600. They take this kind of stuff very seriously, and North Iowa communities all across our region, they take their animal control. They don't all have animal control departments, but they take animal welfare issues serious. And, I'd rather have somebody, I know that they too would rather have somebody make a call in out of concern for an animal than not make that call and then find an animal that has perished in the elements. So if you see something, say something.
Right. And with the holidays coming up, with all of that, what should people be aware of?
So, I mean, this weather system throws a kink in our plans. I mean, we're open to the public currently from noon to 4, Tuesday through Friday. And then on Saturdays by appointment for adoptions. And so this Saturday we are closed for the holiday and we are planning to be opened on Thursday and Friday, but it's probably unlikely with this weather. I mean, unless something massively changed in the next 24 hours,
sure, there's
a good chance we may not be open. Unfortunately, but our website's still functional any time of the day, which is hsni.org. And you can look at all the animals that we have available for adoption. Maybe you're not going to get somebody adopted by Christmas time at this point, but that week after Christmas when the kids are home, it'll be a great time to come into the shelter and meet everybody and see who we've got available. And then also just again, back to this whole weather thing, people are always concerned about the animals and their care. We have a lot of out of town staff, but we have a lot of in-town staff that will be there at the shelter, taking care of the animals and making sure all their needs are met and they're cared for and fed and cuddled and kept warm and having a Merry Christmas.
Well, there you go. Are you traveling for the holidays?
Thankfully, no.
Right. I'm telling you right now, if you're planning on traveling, you better do it today.
You better get out of
now.
town right
Now.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad I'm not. I don't like bad weather. I've got a lot of, you know, hours under my belt of, white knuckle driving and saying the Hail Mary on I-35, in an ice storm or blizzard or whiteout. I just have a lot of trauma from it. And so I don't enjoy driving in this weather at all. And even I live in Clear Lake, and even just to drive from the shelter, which is practically Nora Springs, because we're so far out there on the east side.
Right.
Even that drive on whiteout condition days or icy days is harrowing for me. But anyway, everybody get to where you need to be and get your milk and your bread and your eggs today.
They've already been doing
your toilet paper, stock up.
They've already been doing that. So I was out there yesterday. I'm like, is this Black Friday?
It's going to be a French toast Christmas. Everybody's going to be making French toast with their milk, bread, and eggs. And this you can get eggnog, so add to it.
Right.
Exactly. But everybody be safe and be warm out there. Take care of each other. Take care of your pets. Look out for other people's pets. Have a very Merry Christmas, and we'll talk next week.
Well, I'll be in and out next week.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I heard you might be recovering on Wednesday, huh?
It might be. Well, no, because we're doing a public service announcement. If people haven't heard about it, we're doing. I'm going to be to give people an idea of how much they can consume before they're over the legal limit, 0.08.
Yes.
And
so you're going to be drinking on air.
Yep.
But it's under the supervision of Mason City Chief of Police Jeff Brinkley.
Yep.
And others.
And Sheriff Powles.
And Sheriff Kevin Powles. And so this is a professional drinking job that you just conveniently signed up for.
Right.
To be
Yep.
To be the example of, to show others what it's like to be stupid and drink and drive.
We're going to have your weight. You're going to find out how much I weigh.
Uh-oh.
How tall I am.
Oh, Lord.
All of that. So, and I'm going to, I'll tell you
how many bush lattes it takes to get you tanked.
And you're going to be able to see that probably. It's going to we're going to start at 7 a.m. And
a morning drinker.
Yeah, well,
I'm laughing about this, but it is dead serious. So,
yeah.
I mean, you know how many people die in car accidents throughout the country on, especially like New Year's Eve, because they're out partying, drinking, think they've had, just a few,
right.
And they can drive. And, people lose their lives all the time for drunk drivers as either the victim, they die as the person who's driving, or they die as the passenger of someone else's car. But it is a really serious thing. And so this simulation controlled settings situation that you're going to be doing with Sheriff Powles and Chief Brinkley, I think it's awesome, and it's wonderful to show people, and I hope that everybody tunes in. It'll be a little funny for me anyway to see you getting tanked, but again, it's controlled and it's simulated. So
well, yeah, I'll be actually drinking a beverage, and then we'll also get a female in here too to compare her height and her weight.
Oh yeah, have you had any takers for that?
Yeah, there's one of the gals here is going to do it. Jamie's going to do it.
Great.
So, so that way the women can compare to what they,
because women's metabolism processes alcohol differently.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get both the men and the women's, because many times a lot of people have been out and probably probably had more than their limit and didn't realize that they're 0.08.
Yep.
And think they're fine to drive, and they're not, and things happen. And, we hope that it's, not the bad situation.
Yeah.
And so
I think it's great that you're doing it, and that I hope people tune in and listen and watch. You'll have it all on streaming.
We're going to do the first hour will be probably kind of boring. So 7 o'clock till 8 o'clock. That'll be without video probably.
Okay.
I want people to tune in like at 8 o'clock, and then you can kind of see maybe some of the effects, which I guarantee, because I've done this before on the air at another radio station years ago. It's been over 20 years. And
you think you still have the same drinking ability that you did 20 years ago?
Oh,
you got the same liver as you did 20 years ago?
Yeah. I don't know. Few less brain cells too. But yeah, the whole idea is just to big service, and we got some great sponsors, supporters of it too.
That's awesome.
We got some area bars, Matt's Place in Garner. They got some stuff going on New Year's Eve. They want people to be safe and, come on, have a good time. But at the same time,
don't be a ding dong.
Right. Have a designated driver. It's very simple. If you got to call the wife, it's going to be, I've had that conversation before. If you got to call the wife and you call her and she's like, But it's
What are you doing out on New Year's Eve getting drunk without your wife?
Well, no.
Uh-oh, you're in the doghouse now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no. But we want people to be responsible for what they're doing.
Absolutely.
And not just on the holiday season, but anytime
Yep.
they're out about. So, but yeah, Vance Place in Garner, Sports Page in Mason City.
Cool.
Here at the South Bridge, Country Axe.
Cool.
The Axe is in alcohol. And then also Farm Bureau Insurance, Jason Pischke, my insurance guy.
Yeah.
He's going to be, they're supporters of it too. So, yeah. And K-Brick Distributing of Mason City.
That's
They
awesome.
want you
That
to be responsible and
Yeah.
drink responsibly.
they
and-
encourage that.
yeah. So,
Well, I can't wait. I'm going to definitely tune in.
all
First,
right.
we got to get past this horrible.
This
Does this
weather.
storm have a name yet?
Nah, I don't think so.
Did I hear it was Elliot?
Well, we could call it, Snowstorm Sybil.
I'm coming to get you.
Sybil, have a great holiday. We'll talk to you again.
Merry
next week.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.